Are you curious about the benefits of intermittent fasting? Are you wondering if fasting can help with weight loss or the way your hormones work? Well, today we're going to be diving into this topic of the benefits of fasting. So this is a 3-part series. Today is part 2. So make sure you've watched part 1 where I go over the risks and some cautions. And today will be the benefits. And then part 3 is going to be tips to get you started. Hi friends, and welcome to the Healthy Beyond 40 show. I'm Michele, mom of 4 and military wife. I have my doctorate in physical therapy and I'm an online personal trainer, health coach, and yoga teacher. Do you wish that you had more energy and could get into shape? Do you feel like you're struggling to lose weight? Maybe you've tried a diet before, but it just wasn't sustainable, and now you don't know how to get started. We're going to look at health holistically here, and most importantly, keep things simple and quick. If you're ready to develop healthier habits, exercise consistently, and lose weight sustainably without long workouts or following strict diets, then you're in the right place. In this podcast, I bring together my expertise with real life strategies. No magic pill here, so lace up those shoes and get moving. All right, I'm so excited to dive in this topic today and let you guys know about some of the benefits of intermittent fasting. So first, I want to start with, how does intermittent fasting even work? So fasting changes where our body gets energy from. So typically when we're eating throughout the day, that food that we're consuming turns into glucose in the bloodstream. And then our body can pull from the bloodstream that food we just ate, and that's how it gets energy. So think if we're constantly eating while we're awake, our body is just pulling right from the bloodstream, and it's not using any of this stored energy we have. Because when we do overconsume calories or sugar, our body turns that into fat and stores it. And we do want some storage of fat. So then when we go through a time without food or different things like that, our body can pull from this energy storage of fat. The problem is obviously when we have too much of it stored. So when you go long hours without eating, when you're fasting, your body runs out of sugar in that bloodstream to use. So it begins to burn fat to produce energy. So this is where the benefit of fasting can come in, because it's going to use our stored energy in our body. So when you're fasting, your body doesn't have access to that constant supply of energy from food. So it turns that stored energy into glycogen and it uses it for fuel. So this can start to lead to weight loss. It can start to improve your metabolism. It can improve insulin sensitivity. So insulin sensitivity becomes really important, especially as you're going through perimenopause into menopause, when your hormones are changing and you're more likely to become insulin resistant and your blood sugar and the way it's regulated isn't doing as well. So this can help with that key that becomes really important for some women. And there's also lots of other health benefits. So intermittent fasting also activates a process called autophagy. So this is the body's way of clearing out damaged cells. And this is important, and it has anti-aging benefits and disease-fighting benefits. Because normally in the past, we would go through periods of fasting. We didn't have this constant supply of food around that we do. I mean, if we look around, there's just always food. We don't really have to worry about running out of food. It's always here. But this is sort of a new age thing. It wasn't always like this. So our body needs this time to rest and to repair and do some of these processes where we're not eating all the time. And now I'm going to go over some of the benefits, but I want you to keep in mind that we're just sort of clumping fasting together here, but there's lots of different types, and each person is going to experience different benefits because the way our body reacts is going to be a little bit differently. So some people have found that their brain fog gets better, and this is because it is forcing your body to use that stored fat for energy. So instead of sugar. So sometimes this can help with those feelings of brain fog and just not thinking clearly. Also, doing fasting can help with your risk for diabetes because if you combined it with some healthy eating, you're going to control your blood sugar better. and you're not going to be as insulin resistant. So this can become really important when you're looking at the health of your body, and especially as you get older, like I was saying, into that perimenopause, menopause stage where your body's more likely to become insulin resistant. This can really help because it's changing the function of your hormones. So when you don't eat for a while, there's different things that start to happen in your body. So your body changes different hormones levels so that it can get access to that stored body fat for energy. And it also initiates our cells repairing themselves. So we see those changes in our insulin levels. They can start to improve. Different hormones like HGH, so human growth hormone, we can see that increase, and that helps with the ability to burn fat and to gain muscle. And we see the cellular repair where our body is able to remove waste and heal themselves. Different genes are expressed. So it's so fascinating, and there's so many benefits. I want to dive into a little bit more about how fasting can help with the insulin resistance and lowering your risk for type 2 diabetes. So type 2 diabetes is a common diagnosis that is growing. So type 1 is more of an autoimmune disorder. Type 2 is caused by your lifestyle, by overeating sugar and carbs. So the main feature of type 2 diabetes is high blood sugar levels, which also along with that, you're going to have that insulin resistance. So when we get a lot of blood sugar in our bloodstream, our pancreas secretes insulin. And when we keep having those high blood sugars, it keeps secreting more and more. So our body starts to become resistant to that insulin that it's releasing. So anything that can help lower this insulin resistance will help lower the blood sugar levels and prevent type 2 diabetes. So intermittent fasting has been shown to have major benefits on insulin resistance and can also lead to a reduction in blood sugar levels. But we also need to make sure that we're combining this fasting with healthy eating so that we're not binging out on those unhealthy foods while we are eating. So when I work with clients, I always make sure that first we're focusing on eating healthy and really getting that down. Recently, I had a client who didn't have much weight to lose, but she was sort of in that perimenopause to menopause phase, and she wanted to try intermittent fasting. So first, we really worked on making sure we were getting protein and controlling her blood sugar, increasing our fiber. We were working on these other parts before we added this intermittent fasting, because it's important to have those basics down and just using intermittent fasting as another little tool to have. If you're struggling sort of figuring out some of these pieces, how can you eat healthier? What are these other things you need to work on? I would love to just have a free health coaching call with you where we can go over that and really narrow in on what you need to do to be healthy and to help you reach your goals. So just check the links down below to set up a free call with me. Some of the other benefits that you're going to see with fasting is that it can help you to lose weight, and especially visceral fat, so that fat around the belly, which also becomes really common as you go into menopause just because of the way hormones are changing. It's making you more likely to be insulin resistant, which can also lead to that belly fat. So when you are fasting, a lot of people are just going to be eating less. So because they have that smaller window, so maybe that really means that they're cutting out those nighttime snacks. So if they're doing that 16-8 fasting window and they are cutting food off by 6 o'clock, maybe they're not eating their snacks at night anymore, and that's what is going to help make a difference for them. So it can help you lose weight. It helps to give your body time to rest and digest and allow for those healing processes. Another benefit that you can see is also it can help to improve sleep. And this just helps to regulate that internal clock we have in our body, that circadian rhythm. And especially when you're moving digestion to earlier in the day. So we're not eating right before bed. We're allowing our body to have a break before it goes to bed. Because when we eat, our body has to digest and do a lot of processes, and it doesn't want to do that while it's sleeping. So it can be really beneficial to have that eating window end well before bedtime. And I just wanted to let you guys know about a product I really love. It's Organifi's Gold, and this has helped me with my sleep. This was another product I used while we were moving across country, and I was feeling low on energy, but I also wasn't sleeping that great. We were selling our house. We were sleeping in hotels and transition places. It was a lot. So I got Organifi Gold, and it has lemon balm in it, which is a wonderful herb. I also drink it in a tea, and it's a very relaxing and calming herb. So I love having this sort of like creamy turmeric tea, this Organifi Gold, and it has these different herbs like lemon balm, ginger, mushrooms, and it doesn't have any sugar in it. Sometimes I put a spoonful of canned coconut milk in it, and it's just a great way to end my day and to really calm my mind and calm my body before I go to bed. So if you guys want to check it out, go to Organifi's site. There's a link down below. And if you use the code HEALTHY20, you're going to save 20% off of every order and 35% if you sign up for Subscribe and Save. So heading back into these benefits of fasting, another one is that it can protect your heart. And it does that because depending how you're eating, you are reducing your blood sugar. You're probably improving your cholesterol levels, especially if you're combining it with healthy eating. So this is where it gets back to the idea of we are improving our health. We're not just losing weight. And it can also reduce inflammation. So conditions like arthritis or anything where we're having an inflammatory response in our body, when we can have a fasting window, it allows our body to have that time to rest and digest. And there's also lots of research coming out that it can help with other diseases like Alzheimer's, asthma, multiple sclerosis, stroke. So hopefully the research will keep coming in those areas so that we can have lots more information on that. Just want to give a quick recap as we're ending here. Is I talked about how intermittent fasting actually works and how it makes our body use the stored fat that it has for energy. We talked about some of the benefits like banishing brain fog, decreasing your risk of diabetes, changing your blood glucose and your insulin levels so we're not as insulin resistant. We talked about how it helps us to lose weight and lose that abdominal fat, and how it helps us to improve our sleep, how it can protect our heart and reduce inflammation. And hopefully more research is just going to keep coming out on some of the benefits of fasting. So I hope that you guys enjoy this episode. Make sure you catch, there will be one more where I'm going to go over the tips and how to actually get started if you think this is right for you. So I hope you guys all have a wonderful day. Friends, I hope this episode inspired you to take one more step forward in your health. I would love it if you could share this podcast so we can have a bigger impact on even more lives. Just take a picture of this episode and share it on social media or with a friend and tag me. It's hard to be healthy in a culture that is surrounded by fast food and sugar. So be part of my free health community and join my private Facebook group. The link is down below. Being healthy can be hard, but with the right tools and support, you can do this.